It's the code of the streets. So it's either you follow the code of the streets or you a civilian. It go either way. That's it.
Look, I feel like a lot of this.
Because if you a rat, you're going to be alienated no matter what.
You could have a great lawyer. At one point, the lawyer's gonna say, really want to take it to trial? You take it to trial, that's when things go really bad.
Durk cooperating, he gonna have to eat this one. Cause it's like, you can't just put all that on it and then, oh, I hate rats. I just watched that last night too. I hate rats, da, da, da. That rap shit over with. That shit you was talking about before, motherfucker can't believe it no.
DJ on the beat, so it's bang. Man, I don't know why he told.
The world just turned upside down. Lil Baby stabbed Lil Durk in a courtroom, right in front of everyone. The full footage has dropped and the internet is in shock. What started as a legal hearing spiraled into a bloodbath. This is not just drama, it's chaos, it's war, and it's only the beginning. The world stopped turning for a moment when the video dropped. 1 second, you're scrolling through your feed like normal, and the next, you see Lil Baby standing over Lil Durk in a courtroom with the blood dripping from his arm. The entire room froze. The judge slammed the gavel, security rushed in, and the rest of us? We were left stunned, watching in disbelief as the unthinkable unfolded. This isn't just another beef between two rappers. This is a real-life thriller that took place in one of the most public places imaginable, a courtroom. No cameras were rolling. By accident. Everyone was there to witness something they never expected to see. And now, thanks to leaked security footage and audio from inside the room, we have the full story. Lil Baby and Lil Durk have always had a complicated relationship. They've been collaborators, friends, and at times silent rivals. Their careers have intertwined since 2018 when they first appeared together on tracks like Sosa. But what started as mutual respect has now become something far more dangerous. And now with this shocking incident, the line between music and murder has blurred beyond recognition. Let's start at the beginning. The case involved an ongoing federal investigation into drug trafficking allegations tied to both artists' inner circles. Lil Durk was called to testify.
Says they're trying to say that Lil Baby is going to get indicted. We all know how that goes in Atlanta. Those prosecutors can't get out of their own way. Another clown show if that happens. Shout out to Brad, man. We talk often in the DMs, and he's coming out to do an interview with me in LA soon, probably next week or so. But Brad is sitting back like a lot of us, just observing what's going on. He sees the Atlanta police chief tells Lil Baby.
And I tell you that this team will work relentlessly to hold you and the persons that you are affiliated with responsible for those actions.
We're gonna hold you and your associates accountable because Lil Baby filming a music video in the hood of a rival, and the music video got shot up. So Baby and them responded back by shooting and killing one of the rivals, and then the rivals responded back by shooting and killing two 13-year-olds. Atlanta PD is blaming Lil Baby for that, claiming that Lil Baby is responsible because he filmed a music video in Goodfellas territory. And then we sit back and we watch
against an unnamed associate who allegedly used his name and influence to facilitate illegal activity. Lil Baby, whose team claimed he was being unfairly targeted in the same investigation, showed up to court expecting a legal battle. What he didn't expect was for things to turn violent inside the very walls of justice itself. According to reports, the hearing began normally enough. Both parties were present, lawyers were arguing, and everything seemed under control. But then came the testimony. Lil Durk took the stand and gave statements that directly implicated someone close to Lil Baby. The tension in the room was palpable. You could feel the air crackle with anger, frustration, and fear. And then it happened. In the middle of the testimony, Lil Baby stood up from his seat. He walked toward the witness stand. The room went silent. Everyone watched in horror as he approached Lil Durk. There were no words exchanged, no warning signs, just a flash of movement, and suddenly Lil Durk was on. The ground clutching his side as blood poured from a deep wound. The footage shows it all, from the moment Lil Baby pulls out a concealed blade to the instant he plunges it into Lil Durk's body. The screams, the panic, the chaos that followed. It's raw, it's brutal, and it's real. Security rushed in, paramedics arrived, the judge ordered the room cleared, and yet the video continued to spread like wildfire across every platform known to man. Within hours, millions had seen this clip. Social media exploded with reactions. Fans, fellow artists, and even law enforcement weighed in, and the questions kept coming.
Lil Baby is cooked. It's over, bruh. When I first seen the initial reports today, I made my calls, and what I was told was, expect for Lil Baby to be indicted on a RICO within 90 days. you're probably asking yourself, what exactly is Lil Baby out here doing that's going to get him indicted on a RICO charge within 90 days? Well, let's break down exactly what's going on. These are Lil Baby ops, arch nemesis of 4PF, the Goodfellas, and they are currently going through the process.
Why did this happen? Who brought the weapon into the courtroom? Was this premeditated or a split-second decision? Importantly, how could this be allowed to happen in a place meant to uphold the law? The answers are still unclear, but one thing is certain, this is the biggest controversy in hip-hop history. Now let's talk about the aftermath. Both Lil Baby and Lil Durk have remained largely silent since the incident. Their teams issued brief statements, but nothing that fully explained what happened. Lil Baby's reps said he was cooperating with authorities and would not comment further until the investigation concluded. Lil Durk's team echoed similar sentiments, adding that he was receiving medical attention and in good spirits. But the silence hasn't stopped the speculation. Online forums, fan groups, and celebrity news sites are buzzing with theories. Some believe it was a staged event designed to generate buzz for upcoming projects. Others think it's part of a larger feud that has been building for years. And then there are those who say it was simply a breakdown of emotions in a high-pressure environment. What we do know is that Lil Baby was arrested on the scene. Police recovered the weapon, a small switchblade, and charged him with assault with a deadly weapon and disorderly conduct in a courthouse. Lil Durk was taken to a local hospital where he received treatment for the stab wound. According to sources, the injury was serious but not life-threatening. In a recent interview with XXL, Lil Baby spoke for the first time about the incident. When asked if he regretted his actions, he responded, "I don't owe anyone an explanation. I was defending my name,"
for which he had absolutely no involvement, is unprofessional, unethical, and shameful, end quote. It continued to say, he is devastated about the situation because the teens came from his neighborhood. But a warrant paints a different picture, saying an ongoing dispute between the 4PF gang and the OMF gang eventually led to the fatal shooting of Freeman and Davis. According to documents, Lil Baby is an affiliate of 4PF, and the conflict starts in May 2024 when the rapper shot a music video in rival territory.
That's all I needed to do. His words reveal a man who feels cornered, misunderstood, and willing to fight for his legacy, even if it means risking everything. Lil Durk, meanwhile, has not made any public statements. His social media accounts remain untouched, and his team has not released any new content since the incident. But in a private message shared with close friends and later leaked online, he said, "I knew this day would come. I just didn't think it'd be like this. I'm still breathing. That's all that matters." These comments suggest a deep sense of pain and resignation. It's clear that whatever led to this moment wasn't easy for either man, and yet here we are. For fans, the emotional impact has been overwhelming. On social media, reactions have ranged from outrage to empathy. Some people are calling for Lil Baby to face the full consequences of his actions. Others are defending him, saying he was provoked and acted in self-defense. Meanwhile, many are simply asking how something like this could happen in the first place. One fan wrote on Twitter, "You can't take a knife into a courtroom. What were they thinking?" Another posted, "This isn't a movie. This is real life, real blood, real pain, real consequences." The divide is stark. Some believe Lil Baby is a victim of a system that's been targeting him. Others think he should have known better than to bring a weapon into a legal setting. And then there are those who see this as the inevitable outcome of a rivalry that was always destined to blow up. But before we jump to conclusions, it's important to remember that the truth is still unfolding. Investigations are ongoing, and both men are expected to appear in
even Google Earth will show you it's still very much the hood, and apparently it was a hood Lil Baby wasn't supposed to be in. They began filming the music video with a whole production crew present when gunfire erupted. Atlanta police received calls just before 5 p.m. stating multiple people had been shot, and when they arrived on scene, they located a 24-year-old man shot in the arm and a 27-year-old man shot in the back. The victims were alert, conscious, and breathing. A 23-year-old man who couldn't wait for police was driven to the hospital with a gunshot to the neck. He too would survive.
Tonight at 11, police are working to try to find out who opened fire on the set of a music video reportedly featuring Atlanta's very own Lil Baby.
The shooting happened just before 5 o'clock tonight. There is a map right here on your screen of where this all took place on Verbena Street. That's in the Dixie Hills neighborhood and the northwest part.
Court in the coming weeks. Until then, all we have are rumors, theories, and footage that can't tell the whole story. Let's also consider the broader implications of this incident. What does it mean for the future of hip-hop? For the safety of artists in public spaces? For the way we consume and react to viral content? Hip-hop has always been a genre built on storytelling. Whether it's through music, interviews, or social media, artists have always used their platforms to express themselves. But when that expression turns physical, especially in a space like a courtroom, the stakes become incredibly high. And what about the fans? We live in a world where everything happens in real time, where every move is documented, dissected, and debated. But with that power comes responsibility. We must ask ourselves, are we ready for the consequences of our obsession with drama? In a rare public statement following the incident, Lil Baby addressed the role of fans in shaping the narrative. People want drama, they want blood, but sometimes they get exactly what they ask for. I hope they're ready for what's coming next. His words are chilling, but they speak to a deeper truth. As much as we love the stories, the conflicts, and the controversies, we must also be prepared for the reality they create. As for the future of Lil Baby and Lil Durk's careers, it remains uncertain. Both artists are currently working on new music, but it's unlikely anything will be released while the legal proceedings are ongoing. Record labels, sponsors, and fans are all waiting to see how this plays out before making any major moves. In the meantime, the world...
Don't think that that phone is not tapped.
Yeah.
If the feds want you, they got ways to get you, bro.
Right, and they got something called, I think, stingrays that basically monitor the packets, like the data that goes out from the jail. So all the text messages you send, they're grabbing all that.
Yeah.
And they could reconstruct it and put it back into your cell and say, oh, look, he texted this, this, and this.
Niggas being gangs, chatting, being group chats, this, that. Nah, bro. The feds gonna use all that information.
Yeah, no, I mean, that's
the biggest,
actually...
That's the FBI's, you would agree they're the biggest gang in the world.
100%. 100%.
The police is the second biggest gang.
Yeah. No, I mean, and in fact, my man Taxstone, I remember I talked to his lawyer after he was found guilty. Mm-hmm. And, you know, he spoke to some of the jury members. And, you know, the jury basically told him, Troy Ave taking the stand.
Watches and waits. The footage continues to circulate. The theories continue to grow. And the question remains, was this a moment of rage, or was it something far more calculated? If you want to stay ahead of every twist, every update, and every truth behind this viral madness, make sure to subscribe to my YouTube channel right now. I'll be breaking down the latest footage, sharing exclusive insights, and keeping you updated on Lil Baby's next steps, Lil Durk's recovery, and the deeper story that's only just beginning to unfold. The internet is on fire. Lil Baby and Lil Durk's names are everywhere, but the truth? It's buried under rumors, speculation, and hype. Before we believe everything we see, let's dig deeper into their real relationship and the wild reactions shaping this story. The world has been turned upside down in just a few short days. One moment. Lil Baby and Lil Durk were two of the most celebrated artists in hip-hop, collaborating on tracks that topped charts and performed together at sold-out shows. The next, they're embroiled in a controversy so explosive it's dominating headlines across every platform. But as fans, critics, and fellow artists scramble to make sense of what's happening, one question keeps rising to the surface. Is this real, or is it all just another twist in an ongoing saga designed to generate clicks and views? In an age where viral moments can shape careers and destroy them, public reaction plays a massive role in how stories unfold. And when it comes to Lil Baby and Lil Durk, the response from fans and the general public has been nothing short
saying that Lil Baby told them.
And that's the important thing. And it's not Lil Baby's people saying it. It's the rival group.
Oh.
So the same people who allegedly went and did this shooting are the same people that are allegedly caught on wiretap talking about Lil Baby said this and that. To me, it sounds like hearsay. Unless they plan on testifying against him, whatever. But I think it's another reach, and it's going to end with Atlanta, the judicial system of Atlanta, looking
sort of chaotic social media is flooded with opinions, conspiracy theories, and emotional takes, many of which are based on incomplete information. As the situation continues to evolve, it's more important than ever to step back, assess the facts, and understand the true nature of the relationship between these two artists before jumping to conclusions. Lil Baby and Lil Durk have had a complex bond since they first crossed paths. In 2018, they started off as collaborators, building hits like Sosa and Woo, and quickly became one of the most dynamic duos in the game. Their chemistry was undeniable, and their mutual respect was clear. But over time, as both artists rose to the top of the industry, their interactions began to shift. What once felt like a strong partnership now carries an undercurrent of tension, and that's where the confusion begins. To truly understand what's going on now, we need to look back at their history. We need to examine their collaborations, their public statements, and the subtle shifts in tone that have led us to this point. Because if there's one thing we've learned from this situation, it's that not everything you see online is accurate. And in the case of Lil Baby and Lil Durk, the truth may be far more nuanced than the headlines suggest. Let's start by unpacking the timeline. Lil Baby and Lil Durk first connected through music. In 2018, Lil Baby released the track Freestyle, which featured Lil Durk. That collaboration helped solidify their bond, and from there, they continued to work together on various projects. They performed together at major events, including Coachella and Rolling Loud.
Targeted after Lil Baby's video shoot was shot up. On May 18, 2024, 4 days after the music video shooting, Atlanta police responded to the projects at 2 a.m., finding 21-year-old Nasia Cox shot dead. She'd been killed in the passenger seat of a vehicle while her child sat in the back seat. Investigators believe 4PF acted in revenge, targeting OMF in one of their projects, and the female was just a casualty of war. The following month, 31-year-old OMF member Trevante Turner was found at 3 a.m. shot to death in an apartment. His cousin Keontae Sanders, who was known within OMF as Midnight, was incarcerated at Hancock State Prison at the time. Investigators would learn he was coordinating revenge against 4PF members through phone calls and social media. Investigators recovered extensive conversations with multiple
and even appeared in each other's videos. At the time, it seemed like they were built for success as a duo. But as their careers took off, things began to change. Both artists started to carve out their own identities, and while they still respected each other professionally, the personal connection began to fade. There were moments of public friction, subtle jabs on social media, cryptic lyrics that hinted at underlying tensions, but nothing that suggested outright conflict. Then came the recent incident. Whether it was a physical altercation, a legal dispute, or something else entirely, the fallout has been massive. And as the story unfolded, the public reaction has only added fuel to the fire. Social media has become the battleground for opinions. Fans are taking sides, calling for justice, demanding apologies, and questioning the motives of both artists. Memes are being made, hashtags are trending, and emotions are running high. Some people are convinced that Lil Baby betrayed Lil Durk, while others believe the opposite. Meanwhile, neutral observers are trying to sift through the noise to find the truth. One fan wrote, "You don't stab someone in court unless you're done playing games. This isn't drama, this is war." Another responded, "People want drama, so they'll twist anything. Let's wait for the facts before we start hating." These contrasting views highlight the problem we face as a society. When news spreads faster than truth, it's easy to lose sight of what's really going on. And in the case of Lil Baby and Lil Durk, the stakes are incredibly high. Now let's take a closer look at their relationship to understand whether
a lot of deaths being committed by 4PF members, and they're saying even if we can't get Lil Baby as somebody who actually committed something, okay, for example, in the Trevante murder police report, Lil Baby's name, Dominic Jones, is listed as the gang leader of 4PF. So they're saying that all these murders is being done on behalf of Baby. So yes, this right here don't really prove nothing, but if they have 4PF listed under murders committed in furtherance of the gang, and they're saying that Baby is the head of that, then, they got him.
That's a problem.
Are they going for another state, Rico, or this isn't federal, correct?
It's state, yeah.
Yeah, but, man, they better not fuck this one up, too.
Exactly.
They already
fucked up
dropped
Trump and Thug.
For that reason, they probably not.
Yeah, bro.
Exactly.
That's why
If they're going to do it, they're probably
They
going
done
to.
that shit.
There's no way they're trying to take a third L in a row.
I think that they probably shouldn't even try to do it.
Nah, you got to, bro.
Free them niggas.
I think
Two
they should
13-year-olds
fall
lost their life, man.
Somebody
You got to,
gotta
bro.
get fired if
Nah,
they
free
lose
Lil
this
Baby,
one.
man. We need Lil
Yeah, for
Baby on
sure.
the streets.
Right, because
RP to the youngins for sure, and
Yeah.
free Lil Baby for sure.
it's something evil about this
This kind of incident is plausible. We have to consider the nature of their interactions. Have they always been close? Or has there been a gradual shift over time? From a professional standpoint, Lil Baby and Lil Durk have always maintained a level of mutual respect. They've supported each other on stage, in interviews, and on social media. But when it comes to personal matters, the picture is less clear. There have been moments where their public interactions have taken a different tone, whether it was a disagreement over business decisions or a lyrical reference that sparked debate. For example, in late 2023, Lil Baby made a comment on Twitter that some interpreted as a slight toward Lil Durk. He didn't name him directly, but the implication was enough to spark speculation. Around the same time, Lil Durk posted something that could be seen as a response. These kinds of exchanges are common in hip-hop, but they also create an environment where misunderstandings can easily turn into full-blown conflicts. In an interview with XXL, Lil Baby reflected on the challenges of maintaining relationships in the industry. You can love someone, but that doesn't mean you won't have disagreements. Sometimes those disagreements come out in strange ways. His words speak to the reality of working in a space where ego, reputation, and money are constantly at play. It's easy to see how tensions could build over time, especially when both parties are at the peak of their careers. And yet, despite the recent developments, there are still signs that the relationship between Lil Baby and Lil Durk isn't completely broken. They've never publicly cut ties, and there are no official statements suggesting a complete falling.
and they're going to include you as a gang leader and say that you are the catalyst for a gang war that had nothing to do with you. This, these people cold, man.
All right. So the music video, is that something that you've seen?
It is.
Where'd you see it?
I believe it was on the YouTube account belonging to Mr. Smith.
All right, and permission to publish a brief clip of that video, Your Honor.
Granted.
All right.
We're gonna play a
Now,
video.
Investigator Vivarito, if you'll look at the, there we go, at the monitor in front of you. Is this the music video that you were referring to?
I'd have to see the title of it.
This beat go crazy. J-Shot Who Want Problems music video?
Yes, that's the one I'm referring to.
All right. And there are certain shots of this video that are at the 1043 Spark.
Out. In fact, sources close to both artists say that they've been in contact behind the scenes, discussing ways to resolve the situation amicably. One producer who has worked with both artists shared his perspective. They're not enemies, they're competitors, sure, but they know how valuable each other is. This isn't about hate, it's about pride, ego, and the pressure that comes with being at the top. That insight is crucial. It reminds us that not every conflict in hip-hop is personal. Sometimes it's about positioning, perception, and the need to maintain control over one's narrative, but then again, sometimes it is personal, and when emotions run high, even the smallest disagreement can escalate into something much bigger. So where does this leave us? As fans, we have a responsibility to stay informed and avoid spreading misinformation. Jumping to conclusions without the full story can lead to real-world consequences, not just for the individuals involved, but for the entire community. We must ask ourselves, are we ready to handle the truth when it finally comes out? Or are we just looking for another sensational headline? In a recent message shared with close friends and later leaked online, Lil Baby offered some insight into how he handles situations like this. I'm not perfect, I make mistakes, but I always try to do the right thing. If I messed up, I'll own it, but until then, I won't let anyone write my story for me. His words reflect a level of maturity that many in the industry lack. It's easy to get caught up in the drama, especially when your name is being dragged through the mud online, but Lil Baby seems to understand.
But the fact that they went out of their way to put 4PF there, went out of their way to identify Lil Baby as the gang leader says something. Now, I knew that 4PF was going to get a RICO for about 2 years now, and I knew this the second I seen what happened with 4PF Nate. Now, if you guys don't know, 4PF Nate, an associate of Lil Baby's, now he got sentenced to 40 years in jail for murder. But I knew that something was up at trial of 4PF Nate. 4PF Nate on your left, Keontae Davis on your right. Them two are being accused of murdering a man who goes by the name of Jaquavius Wilson. 4PF Nate was the shooter. Keontae Davis was present. So when Keontae Davis got caught, the police actually made Keontae Davis bite the cheese, all right? Keontae Davis is in paperwork identifying
that his actions speak louder than words. As for Lil Durk, he's remained relatively quiet throughout the ordeal. His team hasn't issued any public statements, and his social media accounts have stayed largely inactive. This silence has led to even more speculation, with fans wondering if he's hurt, angry, or simply choosing to let the situation play out. But what we do know is that both artists are currently working on new music. Neither has announced any delays or cancellations related to their upcoming projects. And while the legal proceedings are ongoing, there are no indications that either man is planning to walk away from the spotlight. If anything, this situation has only strengthened their positions in the industry. It's a reminder that even in the face of adversity, these artists continue to move forward. And for their fans, it's a chance to support them through the storm rather than tear them apart in the process. In the end, the truth will come out, and when it does, we'll be able to look back and see whether this was a moment of rage, a misunderstanding, or something far more calculated. Until then, let's focus on the facts and avoid letting our emotions cloud our judgment, because in a world where everything happens in real time, patience is a rare but valuable trait. And when it comes to Lil Baby and Lil Durk, the story is far from over. If you want to stay ahead of every twist, every update, and every truth behind this viral madness, make sure to subscribe to my YouTube channel. Right now, I'll be breaking down the latest footage, sharing exclusive insights, and keeping you updated on Lil Baby's next steps, Lil Durk's response, and the deeper story that's only just beginning to unfold.
Cowardly acts of an Atlanta-based rapper that decided to go over into a rival gang stronghold and shoot a music video in a place that he knew he should not have been.
And I did talk to several people who live in this community who say they were relieved to hear that there were arrests made in this case, because they say this tragedy really hit this community hard. Many of them also said that they were not surprised that gang violence was involved. Live in phone call that there would be revenge for that homicide, and he will go to war with the leader of 4PF, which is Lil Baby, per that phone call. Unfortunately, in July, Freeman and Davis became innocent victims. Gang investigators found they were not intended targets, but rather collateral damage. Most recently, police announced they already made 7 arrests for the teen's murder, but say they're not done. They didn't call Lil Baby by name on Wednesday, but did say this, which matches with what the warrant reads. Tory, where he and associates were then shot at. After that incident, police say the back-to-back retaliatory shootings and homicides began. The warrant gives an in-depth timeline of multiple incidents that happened from May 2024 to when the teens were killed. It even says a high-ranking member of OMF was calling shots from state prison to retaliate against 4PF after an OMF member was killed on Peyton Place in June. According to documents, that imprisoned high-ranking member said for which he had absolutely no involvement is unprofessional, unethical, and shameful, end quote. It continued to say Lil Baby is devastated about the situation because the teens came from his neighborhood. But a warrant paints a different picture, saying an ongoing dispute between the 4PF gang and the OMF gang eventually led to the fatal shooting of Freeman and Davis. According to documents, Lil Baby is an affiliate of 4PF, and the conflict starts in May 2024 when the rapper shot a music video in rival terror.
13-year-olds, and a $50,000 reward is being offered for more information. So far, 7 people have already been arrested.
The overall theme of this case is grown men playing gangster that left 2 of our children in graves and a community in fear. And cowardly acts of an Atlanta-based rapper that decided to go over into a rival gang stronghold and shoot a music video in a place that he knew